You ever met a man that said, when you ask him what happened in his last relationship, he said, nothing, I did everything right. She just wasn't ready, or she this, she that. Ladies, y'all better run as fast as you can. This is Tanja coming at you with another nugget. This is just my 2 cents for change. I have finally met the second guy that said that to me. The first guy that said that to me, um, I was like shocked. I was like, in your marriage, you never had any issues that you were the reason or you contributed to. And recently I met a guy and we were talking and he said, his past relationship, he did everything perfect. It just didn't work out because she wasn't ready or whatever. But ladies, let me let you in on a little secret. Everybody has a part to play in any breakup, anything that goes wrong, because first of all, you chose to be in that relationship. That's the first part. I'm sure there were red flags, things that just didn't sit right, but maybe you were in a position where you felt like, okay, I need his assistance. He can take care of me or whatever. And as Christians, we shouldn't be living in sin with any guy. But I know some people make that sacrifice. You're sacrificing your soul really when you do that. But people have, moved in with guys because they can take care of them or they can do whatever for them. When you're in relationships, I just can only keep talking about my age, but I know other people that, say other things based on their age range as well. But when you get to be in your 50s and your 40s and you meet guys that say that kind of thing, it's a little bit odd to me. Most times I've found out that they have issues with their mother. So their mother is their right, their wingman, or wing woman, should I say. So she builds them up and make them feel like they great, they can do no wrong. And that is a problem because you're going to compete with that mother. Or you can go to the other extreme and she was not there and she didn't do anything. She didn't make them feel like anything. So he's still trying to get that validation, that affirmation from his mother, a woman. You're that woman figure, that female figure. And so when guys say that they want to be considered great, and I know a lot of women don't know how to encourage men, and you should be encouraging him. But if that comes out of his mouth, he needs to deal with those issues. You need to direct him to a therapist or somebody that can help him mentally, because that's not your job, ladies. That is not your job. And the middle ground to that is he's never done anything wrong. He can do everything. I mean, that's because his mom was his hero. She was, had that professional career. She was very successful. And he didn't have a man around to show him otherwise, that a man could do the same thing. And even though men do it on an everyday basis, sometimes little boys, when they're growing up and all they see is a mother doing it, then they want to cleave to that woman that they feel can do it too. So that's why when you women become successful and you hollering about you the boss lady and all this kind of stuff, that's a good thing, but also it can be a bad thing, because if you feel like you gotta take care of a grown man, because he makes you feel great, he wants you to mimic what he's already seen. And so if that's what you're willing to accept, then that's your choice. But the Bible tells us that a man that doesn't work is less than an infidel. And some men don't want to work, or they work the bare minimum to make sure that they say they contributing. It don't matter how much, but they just want to say they contributing. So ladies, be careful when you hear these guys say that. Find out, get to the bottom of it. You don't have to be mean, you don't have to be cruel, but you also want to be sure of this man, his stability, that he's not working a job here and there and, work a job, quit, or he gets fired, or he doesn't have stability. And when you're looking for a godly man, a Christian man, and you're a Christian, you want this man to be stable. You want this man to be able to provide for you. You're a team. When you get married to someone, you're a team. And you don't want nobody to just be there and do a little something here, because that stress is not something we were meant to take on, ladies. We're not. So be careful of who you choose. But know this, if he says he had nothing to do with the issues, that's a lie. That's a lie. I tell people all the time, I done been married before, more than once. And guess what? I chose to marry that person, so that's first and foremost the problem. Secondly, I saw the red flags before I married him, but guess what? I also know that when you're lonely, ladies, we don't choose wisely. We choose because we just want somebody in that space. And that's not a good reason. And even though you're a Christian, you can make those mistakes. So I'm just trying to tell you from a human point of view that if you get into that word, you'll know what you're supposed to do. You'll know what's right and you'll know what's wrong. You don't have to worry about nobody, and hopefully you got friends or somebody around you that can encourage you and tell you, hey, no, you shouldn't be doing that, because fornication is always wrong. And just so many other things that comes with that, but that's why you got to go in that word and know it for yourself. So when he come at you and tell you ain't nothing wrong with this, ain't nothing wrong with that, and he trying to lead you, and the guy that I was talking about just, said some things that was a little uncomfortable, that you don't want to just marry nobody without trying to live with them. Ladies, there is a problem. So be careful of who you hook up with. Make sure that it's a God sent, that he is from God, because if you're into the word and you're serving God like you're supposed to, he'll run if he know he ain't doing right. Don't make yourself so what's the word I'm looking for, so vulnerable that you accept any and everything. You want to have some vulnerability, but you don't want to have to the point that you let yourself go. You want to be confident. You want to be able to be friendly, supportive, all that good stuff, because in the first few days of talking to that guy, you can hear what you're not going to accept. You can hear those red flags, and that's the time to run. So be careful, ladies, when you hear the guy saying he's never done anything wrong in a relationship. Everybody has a part to play. Until next time, choose wisely. That's just my 2 cents for change. And look forward, we're getting ready to go live in February. We're going to be having guests on. Everybody's going to be single that's coming on, and we're going to talk about different things, pertaining to relationships. So we'll look forward to that in February. And until next time, be blessed.